let's talk about how serious things are getting. This is interesting. We have the story from Fox News. Jonathan Turley says FBI's involvement in alleged theft of Ashley Biden's diary raises legitimate concern. The FBI raided the home of Project Veritas founder James O'Keefe over a stolen diary belonging to President Biden's daughter. The New York Post editorial board, I think, said this is beginning to look like a political prosecution of an opposition journalist. Mm-hmm. So for those that don't know the story, Project Veritas apparently at some point came into contact with Ashley Biden is Joe Biden's daughter, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
which I didn't even know he had a daughter till like a week ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So some Veritas journalists came into possession, I believe they did, of the diary, and they said we couldn't corroborate it, so we tried turning it over. The FBI raided James O'Keefe's house, I believe it was his house, as well as several of his
To get the diary, was it?
of reporters. I don't know why. Like what their claim is, they had a search warrant.
Did they get the diary? I'm asking because I wasn't tracking this.
I don't know for sure what their grounds for searching for it may have been. It was part of a federal investigation into the stolen diary of Ashley Biden. The New York Times reported the raid took place early Saturday morning, just days after the homes of two Project Veritas associates were also the subject of search warrants. Quote, why would the FBI be coming in on this? Turley asked on America Reports. Project Veritas said it didn't run the information and notified local enforcement. So there is a legitimate concern when the FBI becomes involved in this type of story as to whether it is going outside of those navigational beacons that we use to judge whether they're acting independently. So I don't know if they were looking for the diary. Perhaps they were. A lot of people are saying this proves the diary is now true. It's legitimately the diary, in which case there's a lot of really messed up stuff in there.
So that I was just going to say, can I play devil's advocate real quick?
Yeah.
They might, maybe, I doubt it, but maybe if the FBI was doing righteous investigations in this case, needed information that's only found in the diary that can corroborate some pretty nasty stuff. Because we know there's an open investigation against Hunter Biden. It's still open in Delaware. It hasn't closed. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, for sure. I'm pretty sure it's against Joe Biden. Like it's Ashley talking about her dad and like messed up stuff.
Yeah, a little messed up.
Yeah, messed up stuff. Wow. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to believe the FBI heard about the diary and said, we need to get this because it proves Joe Biden did something wrong. But it actually just sounds like the FBI is like, quick, protect the president, go after journalists.
And that's exactly what it looks like, unfortunately.
So this is crazy. Look, isn't the FBI going after the Russiagate hoaxers?
Well, John Durham is. I wouldn't say the FBI is. I definitely wouldn't say Chris Wray and this FBI are doing anything to help correct the wrongs that were implemented under James Comey. But I would say John Durham is by indicting these people and making this information public, which is very different.
So it's special.
It's special counsel.
So this is scary.
It's like 15 investigators that are huddled. They're cordoned off from the rest of the FBI. They don't report to anyone but John Durham. John Durham reports to no one but the Attorney General. It's a pretty close-knit circle, and it's going to keep going.
We can combine a few of the segments we did earlier today. We have the FBI going after Project Veritas. Mm-hmm. We have the FBI having evidence in the Kenosha incident and not releasing it. Apparently, they lost it as aerial footage.
They lost it?
Yeah, they apparently, and then they recovered it recently. Then we've got, apparently there's reports about when it comes to January 6th, the FBI, I could fact check me on this one, guys. They provided information to HBO, but not to the defense or the defendants. So the FBI had information relating to it that wasn't released. It really sounds like the FBI as a whole is like rogue, operating totally politically and targeting anyone who opposes the establishment party, the Democrats for the most part, and their neocon allies.
And that's a hard argument to rebut. And I'll only say this, that a lot of the guys I work with are still there. They're not running it. Every case you mentioned is one of the highest profile cases the FBI is handling right now. So it goes to the director's doorstep, right? Nothing happens in any of those cases without the director of the FBI knowing. And I do still think that at the top of the FBI, there are people that don't want the American public to see what actually happened. They don't want them to see evidence of innocence, like in the Rittenhouse case, where they're talking about the Jan 6 incidences. There's what, like 10,000 hours of footage they haven't turned over to Jan 6 defendants?
Are these people just like they're in the cult? They're true believers of the propaganda, or are they the puppet masters pushing the lies?
Here's what I say. I say this about Milley and DOD, and we can talk about all that and all, but 99% of the people who sign up to serve the mission. The very few at the top that have been corrupted, like the James Comeys and the Chris Wrays and the Rod Rosensteins and the like, they think the mission exists to serve them.